Welcome to the session, and today we will be looking into a very good function, a very important function that is called group by. Okay, so what is group by? So group by mainly refers one or two of the processes which contains splitting, applying, and combining. These three steps, if they are following, then it's called a group by. It may take splitting and applying, or it may take apply any two of them. If it's doing, then it's called group by. Okay, so I have a small so let's first understand what is splitting. Okay, let me, I have a small graph picture for you. Okay, so here you can see this is my table. If I have two tables here of city and temperature, okay, and so splitting is this. So I'm splitting this my one data, two column data, in three parts. I can split it in three parts, one for New York, another for Mumbai, and then the next one for Paris. I can easily split this into three parts. So this is splitting. It means splitting or separating the data as per their group. Okay, or something having common. Here we have city as common, so we have removed separated them, or we have split them. Okay, so then the next step is your applying is something like function. Okay, what functions, what you want to do with these numbers. In splitting, we just show what we can do with the city or the common column. Now with the temperature column, or the number value column, what you want to do? You want to do average, you want to do max, mean, mode, sum. What you want to do, which aggregate function you want to use. So that is called apply. And then combine is the process of joining again the data with whatever aggregate function you have applied on the value column. So value or the temperature column in this case. So this is our picture how you can just to explain you what is group by. Okay, so group by is simply splitting the data, then applying any aggregate function on that, and then again combining it. Okay, so you can see all this this whatever that is 3 4 8 12 rows can be combined in one. Okay, or combined in 3 rows. Okay, so this is a group by in short. Okay, and you can see we can also do the group by in a data frame by this way. You can see we have the data of day, city, temperature, wind speed, event. Okay, so we have this, and I want to split them in the country, in city wise. I want to group them, so I can group this way. Okay, so you can see in there I have also written a code, small code, that is df dot group by, then parenthesis start within quotes city column, and then you can split it and do it in a separate way if you want. Okay, now let's move to our PyCharm and see a practical use of this. Okay, so now let's go to our PyCharm, and now, so earlier these are all from the previous sessions. Okay, so we have already loaded 16 ways, 16th number, the data frame from which we have, oh yes, here. Let's copy this, comment out this, and run this. Okay, let me run this. Okay, from this I just want 20 rows. Okay, let's first do it with 20 rows, and if you write one of the two alphabets, and then if you press control space bar, then IntelliSense will work, and you can get the function which you want, or you can get the list of functions which you want. So in case no rows equals to this, this really helps in your any typo. It helps you in just, if you don't remember the function, then it helps you. It gives you a list of functions, and it also reduces your typo error, which I generally do a lot. Okay, I do a lot of typo errors. and it's very useful in the language like Python pandas, which is very case sensitive. Okay, so let me run this first. So let us fetch the data. So then we will be doing, once we have this result, we will be just fetching the data by one key. Okay, it's taking a bit long. Yeah, we have the data, only 20 rows we wanted. So here, okay, now what we want, let me just write a comment for everyone. Group by function. Okay, group by function. Now what I want, df 22 equals to df 16 dot group, and then you just press control space, then you can get your, okay, in this case I'm not getting, no, not a problem. Group by, you can just write it here, group by, then start the parenthesis, and then just copy any of the you can say columns. Okay, do we have city here? I think we had a city column in this data. City, let's see if we are getting or not. And then df22, if I type, then let me just remove this and let's run. So this is always just, this is the first one key. We are doing group by one key only, just this is the one first key. Okay, we can, you can add multiple keys like this. So we will see other examples. Okay, I think there is no city column here, not to worry. Which column? Let me just open the data which we currently have here. Sales data, sales report. Yes. We have that city. Okay, I got it. So C is the capital one. You can see this is case sensitive language. So one small typo, one case sensitive small or the upper cap will lead to an error. Okay, finished with, okay, it's not giving me any result, not to worry. 22, okay, let me just okay, not to worry. So if I do df dot print df dot let's try this function and let me check that if it's working or not, then I'll explain you what it does. City, okay, you can see it has grouped the data as per the city. There are 24 rows. Okay, and it has given me as per the city, it has grouped all the other data by this. Okay, so now if I want anything else, let's say this is one part, let me just write another code. Df 23 equals to df 16 dot group by, then parenthesis, order, hopefully I'm writing the correct spelling, and then if I write this groups, and if I try to run this, then is it successful? Let me cut and paste here so that we know that this code is not working. df 23, and let me just hide this. This also not hide. Comment this 2 rows and df3 groups. Order by priority. You can see criteria 13 high. Okay. So you can see how which rows are there currently with. You can see I've just extracted the order priority column, and I want to check that which are currently having critical as in priority, that is row number 13, 14, 16 and 19. Then high is 4, 6 and low is 9 and 11, and then again you can say accordingly you can fetch this data, and means which rows are having what type of criteria or what type of order priority. So by this you can fetch a single column and check that. Okay, that was for just for one column. And if I want for multiple columns, then what should I do? So for the multiple columns, which is the main course, usually people don't apply a single column group by. For group by, we need to have multiple columns. So to have a good useful information, we tell it group by multiple keys. This is only just one key. Is there means one column. Here also we had just one column. Okay. Now if I go and create df 24 equals to df 16, then dot group by, okay, and then our parenthesis, and then our square bracket. And if I want to have we had a customer segment, right? Let me just open the file just to avoid any typo, and let me just copy it. Customer ID, customer name, customer segment we had, yes, by customer segment. And within 2 quotes I've just pasted my customer segment. Okay, and then we are adding this in a square bracket, because if you are if you want to have more than one column as a group by in group by, then you have to present that, or you have to write that in a list, and list is always presented by a square bracket. And now let me just add order priority, order date, order ID, and order priority. Yes, I have here order priority. Okay, so just remove this order priority. Okay, and in the end we should write dot groups. Okay, customer segment, this it, I think it is a fine code line I've written. And let me just run this as 20. Okay, 24. Let's run this and check how it works when we have 2 keys. Earlier we had just one key or one column. Now we have added 2 columns in group by. Okay, customer segment, it's in valid syntax, it's telling me. Okay, sorry, it's I have a single quote here, so I should run. I should have already seen that, because it was already giving me this you can say underline with red, and here also it was giving me a red signal. So I could have easily seen there. The PyCharm gives this facility to sorry about the background noise. Okay, so let me just run this. You can see we have the data here. Okay, so our first customer customer segment is corporate and it has high priority, and there are 4 with such groups. Okay, then again we have, sorry, my mistake. We are just pulling the top 20 rows. Okay, so in that top 20 rows, there are only fourth row having corporate and high, and then corporate and not specified as an corporate as an your customer segment, and not specified as your order priority in third row, fifth row, and sixth row. Okay, same goes with the other ones. All the possible combinations they are showing me with these 2 columns only. All possible combinations means where whichever possible combinations of that column is it's showing me. Okay, now this is what you can do with the 2 columns, and they will tell you how many are there. Now let's go and create. This was our second stage. Now let's go to this third stage, which is much more, it will give you much better view about the group by. Okay, now okay, so what should let's df 25 equals to df. Initially this all topics will be very boring, but once we use these topics in a project, then it gives us a very useful outcome. Dot 16 dot group by, and then just let me the order priority from here. Okay, order priority. If I want to have create a function, so how we can do that using the group by? So that's what I am going to show you. Okay, so this is my, okay, now in this, what I will do, order priority I have written. You must be aware about the loops. Loops runs each and everything multiple times until the certain criteria is not met. That is called loop. So currently I'm using for loop. So we will study about that later on in detail. Priority comma group in df 25. Okay, and this, you should always end any function in Python or Pandas with colon. Okay, and this indentation is very important. You cannot go here and start writing from here. It will not make any sense for the Pandas, and it will get error out. Indentation is very important. So print priority. Okay, and then again print group, and then again print blank. I will explain you once we have the outcome. Then I will explain you how it works. Okay, now if I run this one, if I run this one, okay, so you can see it has given us a result all. Earlier we had seen that order priority was just giving us the single row numbers, that in which row which kind of priority column row is there. Okay, now now by using this function, by creating a small function, this what we have done, that we have printed all the rows for just one priority. For the priority number critical, we have 4 rows, so they are separately printed. Okay. Then we have high priority, it has 3 rows, then it has printed separately. For 2, it has printed separately, and then and so on. And this is just df24 is not defined. Okay, df24. Okay, where is df24? Oh, about this one, sorry. So if I ignore this, then this error should not come. So this is how you can get each individual priority numbers, uh, priority or any other criteria group by. Okay, so this is how you can print them separately by creating just a small function. Okay, so if I want to get that, now let's okay, this no. Okay, now let's, this was how we apply group by. Now we will be applying aggregate functions in the group by, and we will be trying to find useful ones. How it can be group by can be used with the aggregate functions. Okay, till now we were just seeing the simple group bys with just 1 or the 2 columns. Okay, the real function, the real use of aggregate is of group by is to aggregate the values or the numbers through any criteria or through any column. Okay, for example, how much discount each order priority has got. Okay, what is the average sales of order priority critical, or you can say high. So how we can find that? We can by doing this. Let me just show you. So df 26 equals to 26 dot, okay, df 16 dot group by, and I think I copied the, okay, yes, it's copied. So if I remove one, okay, now group by dot count. So count is an aggregate function. So I'll just open and close the parentheses, and here I will just type 26, remove the, uncomment this, and if I run this one, 16, okay. If I run, then hopefully by order priority, how many are there, I should get the result. You can see in top 20 rows, we have how many rows as critical? 4 rows. In discount, okay, all are giving me as just 4. It means how many are there with all the rows. Okay, means how many rows are there for all the columns which we have in our data frame. Now if I move ahead and try to implement, try to add more one column here, more one column, just copy this, then I think we should get some interesting results. Order priority and customer segment. Let's add, we had a customer segment here. Yes, let me copy this entire. We are using 2 columns, so we have to keep them in within a square bracket dot count. Okay, and if I run this with 27, so you can see now it has given me under the corporate customer segment, we have high, no, not specified, then under home office we have critical, high, low, medium, not specified, and under small business we have criticals. And then how many rows are there with that it has given us count. Okay. So this is how you will get when you apply two columns under group by. And let's do something else. Add some other aggregate functions like sum and mix, mean and max. If I instead of this count, if I add sum, then 28 and 28 is there. Let's run this. So now this all the numbers, they now look some useful. Okay, you can see earlier it was just 1 2 4 4 because it was just counting the number of rows, how many rows has had the digits. Now if we should look to the numbers in customer segment column, we have corporate, home office and small business, and under corporate we have order priority high, not specified, or row ID this, and this is discount 0%, 0.18% to, and this is the order ID. You can see order ID 1, and this all things you can get all the rest of the columns will be now summed up. Okay, if they have summed up with corporate and high as a combination, whichever column has corporate in the customer segment and order priority as the high, it will just sum up and give you in front of you. So this was our sum. Similarly, you can add max, mean. Okay, so there is one more interesting function, interesting part in this, that if we add describe at the end. Okay, if I add, just for this you need to have just one column. Let me just remove this. And if describe, okay. If I run this, so you just see the result. What describe does, you can see it describes all the things of all the columns. Okay, what it does, it gives you count, max, mean, everything of all customer segment. Corporate has for example, if for row ID, so what is the max, what is the mean, what is the average, what is the sum, it will give everything here. You can see 75% max, 50% max, every stats it will give you about the customer segment column. Okay, this describe function does that. So far we have seen just the simple functions, how to use group by with single, multiple column and aggregate. Now what we'll do, we will be doing a useful way to find an productive way of output of values and columns. Okay, so let's do df30 equals to df. Okay, so whichever value you want. For example, if I want discount column as a sum, mean, max, so you just mention here uh, discount. Okay, and then put dot. Okay, so what this group by function, in what example I'm showing now, discount will be used as a value and the mean or sum will be done of the discount column. Okay, so what will be your group by column? So my group by column will be group by df16, that is start dot, you can say ship mode or you can say priority. Okay, and what you want to do, I want to do mean. You can do sum, you can do max, whatever you like. Now this will give you a very useful and which should look useful to you. So for whatever we did, that was just an outliner of how GroupBy works in how many ways. You can see here now truck delivery has an discount of this much, uh, express air has this much, regular air has this much. So you can see this are the average uh, of the discount through the ship mode. If I want sum of all the discounts under a shipping mode, then how I can just replace the sum here on mean. It will give me sum. You can see this is the sum. Okay. Similarly, if I want, then I can also add. I can just add customer segment also. Under which customer segment you got how much discount. Okay, or you can just let me just pick something else, number shipping cost. Okay, the shipping cost. Okay, and if I put here shipping cost 1, then you can also see you will get a very interesting results with this group by. So you can see this is the under corporate customer segment, you got this much of the shipping cost. Under home office, under small segment, there's this. So you can see clearly, we can see the highest from this. We can see clearly that the shipping cost is highest in the home office, then with the corporate, then with the small business. Okay, this is how you can apply this group by function. So this was all about the group by function. Okay, now now let's add some more example. If I add the 32 equals to, let me add this, not shipping cost. Let me just copy this. Let's see multiple. If I add multiple columns, then what happened? Okay, shipping cost, then shipping cost, then shipping mode. Okay, if I add here comma shipping mode, and then if you remember, if we are adding 2 columns in a data frame, then we have to have double quotes, double square bracket. Okay, and 62. This is more one example of how it works. If I do it, okay, it's just giving me one option. 32. Yes, it should give me 2. Okay, sorry, it's my mistake. My mistake. This should not be here. We want more one column. We want under shipping customer segment, and then we, let me just show you, that will be much clear, because this part is a value part. We cannot have 2 columns of value. Okay, so it's by default it took just shown me the shipping cost. Instead of that, this should be here. And now we can see that under customer segment, which type of shipping modes are there, and under that how much is the shipping cost. Okay. Not one dimensional. Okay, sorry, I think let me just try more once again. If it works, then okay. Not to worry, I will get back to you on this, that how we can have multiple columns under group by. So this was all about group by function. Hope this topic was clear and elaborate. And on this, on the multiple columns, I will get back to you. So that's all for today.